Jason Statham is back in action, and I don't know what the hell is going on with the working man, but what I do know is that it was a mess. And I was just so excited for this one. So an ex-militant is working construction for the same family-owned business for years. Their daughter gets kidnapped and our main guy has to re-enter the game to bring her back. There was just so much going on in this film, and like I said, it was a mess. Like, for starters, in the beginning of the movie, a gang is roughing up one of the other workers and Jason steps in, told them to back off, never come back, and that's exactly what happened. They weren't utilized at all, they weren't brought back, they weren't mentioned again, and it was just like, what was the point of these guys just to show that Jason could fight? Like, I feel like you could have done that in a little bit more effectively. One of my biggest issues I had with this film, aside from the fact that the fights were horrible, it was like they didn't have a proper fighting choreographer and had all this build up for intense fight sequences, but instead gave us, the audience, the fans of badass Jason, petty cat fights and called it a day. Or even the fact that they introduced so many obstacles for the protagonist. It was almost like the game Sifu, or even like John Wick. Just bad guy after bad guy after bad guy, and just nothing really was there. But as annoying as those features, or I guess lack of features, were, my biggest issue was this. I honestly thought that they were going to be going the 2008 Taken starring Liam Neeson route. Ex-special ops wanting to live an honest, simple life and spend time with his daughter, and is brought back into the game when the daughter is, you guessed it, Taken. But obviously not Jason's daughter, which he did have one in this film, but the setup for a Taken-inspired movie was there. But instead of the Albanians in France, you had the Russians in America. And the fact that the daughters got taken in the same manner. Young girl thinks she's bad and wants to party and lies to her parents about what she's doing. Her and her friends get scouted by a ring of organized crime and they take her for the same traffic stop purposes. It was there, it was right there, they had it, and I don't know where it went wrong, but it really just did. It was like they knew they were heading in that direction and didn't want to be attached to Taken, so they were like, hey, let's add John Wick features, and also let's add a blind guy who's not really blind because Daredevil Born Again is coming out, and we can just use that as inspiration as well. However, there were two really cool aspects in this film. Number one being Jason Statham. His stoic energy will forever be cemented as a reason why a movie is carried. And number two, the daughter, Jenny Garcia, played by Ariana Rivas, was a complete badass. Honestly, if you remove the idea of her being saved by Jason and made it about her using her wits to escape and fighting for her life, it probably would have been better, because they wrote her to be so smart and so resourceful that Jason's character was almost obsolete at times. And to be honest, that makes sense because Sylvester Stallone is one of the writers and we know how much of a girl's dad that he is. So of course he's gonna want to have a badass daughter who can fight and protect herself for the most part. But A Working Man was bad. In fact, it was disappointing, and yeah, that's unfortunately about it.